Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you find yourself rereading the same sentence 3 times before it sticks. Don't worry, you're not alone. These little moments of forgetfulness can be frustrating, especially when they start popping up more often after 60. But here's the thing, it's not just about getting older. Sometimes, it's the small habits in our daily routine, ones we don't even realize we've picked up, that quietly chip away at our focus, energy, and clarity. And the good news? Once you spot them, you can change them. You don't need fancy brain games or expensive supplements to stay sharp. Sometimes, it's as simple as making a few thoughtful adjustments in how you spend your time, how you treat your body, and even how you think. So, in this video, we're going to shine a light on 4 sneaky habits that can slowly drain your mental energy after 60, and more importantly, how you can fix them. Think of this as a friendly conversation, not a lecture. Just you and me, sitting down, sorting through what's helping and what might be holding you back. Let's start with something that seems harmless on the surface, but can have a big impact on your ability to stay focused: multitasking. Now, I know that might sound a little odd. After all, haven't we all juggled multiple things at once for most of our lives? Cooking dinner while talking on the phone, folding laundry while watching TV, paying bills while catching up with the news, it's second nature, right? But here's the thing, the older brain isn't slower, it's just more selective. That means it works better when it can focus on one thing at a time, rather than bouncing back and forth between 5. When you split your attention between tasks, your brain ends up using more energy just to switch gears. It's like driving a car and shifting constantly between first and fifth gear. You don't get very far, and you burn a lot of fuel doing it. You might not notice it right away, but over time, that constant back and forth wears you out. You start to feel mentally foggy, more forgetful, and even a little anxious. So what's the fix? Try giving your full attention to just one task at a time, even if it feels slower at first. Whether you're reading a book, answering emails, or peeling potatoes, give it your full presence. You'll find it actually saves time, and you feel calmer and more grounded. Another sneaky habit that steals your focus? Too much passive screen time. And I'm not just talking about watching a movie or catching up on your favorite shows. That's perfectly fine and often enjoyable. I'm talking about the endless scrolling, the background noise, and the way we reach for our phones the second we have a quiet moment. You see, the brain thrives on stimulation, but it also needs rest. When you're constantly taking in new images, headlines, videos, and notifications, your mind never gets a chance to reset. Even when it feels like you're relaxing, your brain is still working overtime, trying to process everything. And over time, that overstimulation leads to mental fatigue. You might find it harder to concentrate, your sleep might suffer, and your memory can feel fuzzier. The fix here isn't to give up technology altogether, it's just about being more intentional with how you use it. Start by creating a few tech-free moments during your day. Maybe it's the first 30 minutes after you wake up, or the hour before bed. Give your brain some space to breathe. Step outside, take a few deep breaths, or sit with a cup of tea and just look out the window. Let your thoughts wander a bit. That's when creativity and clarity start to come back. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I use my phone to stay connected, to read the news, to keep my mind busy. And that's perfectly okay. It's not about cutting things out, it's about giving yourself balance. Think of your attention like a garden. If you water it too much, everything gets soggy. If you neglect it, things wither. But if you give it just the right care, time to grow, time to rest, that's when the good stuff starts to bloom. You see, staying mentally sharp after 60 isn't about pushing harder or doing more. It's about learning how to protect your focus like the precious thing it is. Because when you do, everything starts to feel easier, your conversations flow better, you remember names more easily, you enjoy reading again, and you stop feeling like you're playing catch-up with your own thoughts. So, we've talked about multitasking and screen time, 2 common habits that may seem small but can really wear you down mentally over time. And once you start to shift those, even just a little, you might be surprised at how much clearer and more energized your mind feels. Now, let's take a closer look at another hidden habit that quietly chips away at your focus, especially as we get older. Skipping social connection. Now I know, this one can be tricky. Life changes after 60. Kids grow up, friends move away, retirement shifts your daily routine, and sometimes, you just don't feel like going out and chatting like you used to. But here's something you might not realize: staying socially connected isn't just good for your mood, it's crucial for your brain. Think of your brain like a muscle. It thrives on challenge, engagement, and even a little bit of surprise. And one of the best workouts you can give it? A real, face-to-face conversation. When you talk with someone, you're not just passing time, you're listening, responding, interpreting body language, remembering details, and organizing thoughts, often all at once. It keeps your brain sharp and flexible in a way that crossword puzzles and Sudoku just can't match. The trouble is, when we go too long without meaningful interaction, the brain can start to feel a little sluggish. You might feel like your thoughts are moving slower, or that your memory isn't quite as crisp. It's not because you're getting old, it's because your mind needs connection. Now, the fix doesn't have to be anything big. You don't need to throw a party or join a club if that's not your style. It can be as simple as calling a friend for 10 minutes, chatting with a neighbor while watering the plants, or even just exchanging a few kind words with someone at the grocery store. These small connections can light up your mind in surprising ways. And if you feel a little isolated right now, that's okay too. A good first step is to reconnect with just one person, someone you trust, someone who makes you feel good. Or, if you prefer, try joining a group with a shared interest, even if it's online at first. The key is to find a rhythm that feels natural and uplifting to you. You deserve that sense of belonging. It's not about filling time, it's about filling your life with the kind of energy that helps your brain thrive. Now, let's talk about another focus drainer that hides in plain sight: inconsistent sleep. Not necessarily how much you sleep, but how regular your sleep habits are. You see, your brain needs rhythm. It likes to know when it's time to wind down and when it's time to switch on. But if your bedtime shifts from 10 p.m. to midnight, then back to 9:30 p.m., and you're waking up at all different hours, your brain gets confused. It doesn't get the rest it needs to reset, organize your thoughts, and clear out the mental clutter from the day before. And when that deep rest is missing, it's harder to focus. Your attention span shortens, your memory gets a little spotty, and tasks that used to feel simple might suddenly seem overwhelming. I'm not talking about getting 8 perfect hours every single night. Life happens. But what your brain really loves is consistency. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, even on weekends. Create a wind-down routine that signals to your brain, hey, it's time to rest now. That could mean dimming the lights, turning off your screens, reading a book, or listening to soft music before bed. And here's something else: if you wake up in the middle of the night, don't panic. That's normal, especially as we get older. The trick is not to fight it too hard. Stay calm, maybe sit up and do something gentle like journaling or stretching until you feel sleepy again. Stressing about sleep often makes it even harder to fall back into it. Now, I understand that sleep struggles are incredibly personal. Some people deal with pain, medications, or long-term sleep issues. And in those cases, it's absolutely okay to talk to your doctor about solutions. But for many of us, just creating a little more structure around bedtime can make a big difference. You'll wake up clearer, more energized, and with a brain that feels like it's ready to work with you, not against you. So, to bring it all together so far, we've talked about multitasking, passive screen time, the importance of staying socially connected, and the need for a consistent sleep routine. Each of these might seem small on their own, but they quietly shape how sharp, focused, and confident you feel every day. And here's the beauty of it: you don't need to change everything overnight. Just choose one small habit to shift. Maybe tonight you power down your phone a little earlier. Maybe tomorrow you call that friend you've been meaning to catch up with. These little acts build momentum. They tell your brain, hey, I'm paying attention. I'm taking care of you. And that message alone can start to change everything. We've still got one more powerful habit to uncover, one that often hides behind good intentions, but can quietly drain your focus if you're not careful. We've still got one more powerful habit to uncover, one that often hides behind good intentions, but can quietly drain your focus if you're not careful. And that's staying too busy. Now, this one might surprise you. You might be thinking, wait, staying busy is supposed to keep me sharp, right? And in some ways, that's true. Staying active, having a sense of purpose, keeping your hands and mind engaged, those are all wonderful things. But there's a difference between meaningful activity and constant busyness. And the line between the two can be very thin. After 60, many people find themselves filling every hour of the day, not always out of joy, but out of habit or even guilt. Maybe you feel like you should always be doing something productive. Maybe you've taken on too many responsibilities for family, or you're saying yes to everything because you don't want to feel like you're slowing down. But if your schedule is packed with tasks that leave you feeling drained instead of fulfilled, your focus begins to suffer. When you're too busy, your mind doesn't get time to settle. You rush from one thing to the next without pausing to absorb, reflect, or even enjoy what you're doing. That mental clutter builds up. And eventually, your brain becomes like an overstuffed closet. There's just no room left to think clearly. So, what can you do? Start by asking yourself a gentle question. Is this helping me feel more alive, or just more exhausted? That simple pause can help you see which activities are truly enriching and which ones might be draining your mental energy. And here's the fix: create some white space in your day. That means time that isn't filled with doing. It's not wasted time, it's breathing room. Maybe it's 20 minutes sitting on your porch with no phone, just watching the world go by. Maybe it's a slow walk where you don't track your steps, don't rush, just move and notice. Or maybe it's simply closing your eyes for a few minutes in the afternoon and letting your thoughts wander without pressure. These quiet moments aren't a luxury, they're fuel for your mind. It's in these pauses that your brain organizes ideas, refreshes itself, and brings back that sense of clarity you've been missing. And if it feels uncomfortable at first, that's okay. We live in a world that often rewards constant motion. But real focus doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing the right things, at the right pace, with a rested and intentional mind. So let's gently pull back and look at the bigger picture. We've uncovered 4 habits: multitasking, too much screen time, lack of connection, and constant busyness that can slowly eat away at your ability to focus. And none of these habits make you a failure. They're simply things we slip into, often without realizing it, especially when life shifts after 60. The encouraging part? You have so much power to change them. Not by flipping your life upside down, but by making small, kind decisions each day. Protecting your attention isn't selfish, it's a gift. A gift to yourself, to your loved ones, and to the life you're still building every single day. Maybe today is the day you choose one of those small shifts. Maybe you decide to set your phone down a little earlier tonight. Or you write down a simple evening routine to help your sleep. Maybe you let yourself say no to something that doesn't bring you peace, and yes to a quiet moment you've been craving. And if you're feeling encouraged, share your experience in the comments. What's one habit you'd like to change? Or one small thing that's helped you feel more focused lately? I'd love to hear from you, and you might just inspire someone else reading too. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty more practical, supportive tips coming your way to help you live with clarity, energy, and joy, no matter your age. Remember, you are not losing your focus, you're just ready to reclaim it. And you absolutely can. Here's to living your best life at any age. Take care of your mind, treat yourself with kindness, and I'll see you in the next video.